Howdy folks, I'm Brian and here's some advice. Today's story is titled, Am I a Jerk for Calling Out My Former Teacher for Being Insensitive and a Hypocrite? And this is from Teacher Throw. So sit back, relax, grab your beverage of choice, and here's some advice. I'm a 22-year-old female and I used to struggle with an eating disorder, starting at age 12 and resulted in several hospitalizations and health issues that I haven't completely moved on from. It took tons of time and therapy before I finally mostly resolved my eating disorder issues when I was around 20. I still struggle with anxiety and depression, and I always have. This story took place many years ago at the end of 8th grade when we were all on a trip to Yosemite with lots of hiking and physical activity. Me, being 13 and extremely self-conscious, in addition to having mental health issues that I was struggling with, I decided that I would lower my calorie intake to further increase my weight loss. So, I was hiking around 10 miles a day and only eating around 1,000 calories a day, which I know isn't healthy, but keep in mind that I was a child and I had issues. A friend of mine ended up telling one of the teachers on the trip, who we'll call Miss S, because my friend was worried about me. Miss S pulled me aside and basically screamed in my face. She told me that this was not the time to diet, and that I needed to get my act together, and if she finds out that I haven't been eating, that all of my end-of-year privileges, including walking at graduation, a trip to the local theme park, and more would be gone. She also told me that she told all the other teachers on the trip, and that they would be watching me like a hawk. The whole time, she just seemed furious and angry and showed zero compassion or empathy. I was annoyed, but I tried to eat more, and a couple days later at breakfast, another teacher even mockingly said to me, "See, you're eating. They say you don't." Which, in my opinion, wasn't appropriate at all. I found out the teachers, led by Miss S, had even told a few of my classmates that I was anorexic, which I found out through gossip and a bit of the mocking. I was humiliated and had an even deeper depression. I was a child who was struggling, and they responded by threatening me and making me feel even more alone and embarrassed. But eventually I left school, and I'm doing much better now. I haven't thought about that story in a long time. That is, until last week when a Facebook post by Miss S went viral. Long story short, she talked about how it kills her as a teacher to see students' mental health not being taken seriously. She would never do that. That the students' safety is her top priority, blah blah blah. Lots of other BS that I never saw in the year that we spent together. It annoyed me seeing people kiss her butt, so I wrote out my story in the comments and how she made me feel even more afraid, alone, and depressed than ever. I get an angry message from her saying, "How dare I?" Because now people are screenshotting it and her reputation is destroyed. I don't care. Everything I said was true. I'm not a fan of cancel culture or anything like that, and I fully believe that people can change, but I'm not going to let her take credit for something that she never did to help me or others. Am I a jerk? Alright, OP. That was a hard story, and I'm really sorry to hear that people mocked and ridiculed you for your mental health issues, especially with an eating disorder on a school trip. That wasn't right, and it's a pretty bad situation. I'm glad to hear that you're doing a lot better now and that you've worked through a lot of your issues, and I think that your teacher deserved to be called out. I really do. I don't think that you're a jerk for that. And I think that she made a mistake and that she also wanted to take credit for, being so virtuous. If she wasn't telling the truth, then she wasn't telling the truth. I mean, that there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. She didn't make you feel safe. And instead of reaching out to you and saying, "Oh, I'm really sorry. I didn't know that I made you feel that way," or, "Oh, I'm really sorry. I have changed a lot, and I had certain experiences that made me reflect on it, and I realized that the mental health of students was important, and so I've been an advocate for student mental health for these past few years. I'm really sorry that I hurt you," and then post that, an apology, a public apology to you. She could have saved her reputation, but instead she posted, "How dare you post that?" and, expected that this was going to be, go her way. Again, I'm really sorry to hear that this situation happened, and I'm really sorry that you had some really bad teachers. I hope that she learns from this experience. All, I can figure is that she was thinking that, pushing you in this way was helpful instead of getting you the help that you needed. Sometimes people have this idea that you need to push people and that will make them better, and that isn't necessarily the way mental health works. If you do have mental health issues, you should do your best to work on those issues. You should do a lot to help yourself. But again, there's a lot of resources out there that help people, and the reason why those resources exist is because it can be really hard to pull yourself out of those ruts, as you probably know from your personal experience. So I don't think she acted in a professional way. I don't think your teachers acted in a professional way with gossiping to students and telling them how you were anorexic. And I don't think that was a funny joke or was appropriate for any of them. Anyhow, again, take care, good luck, and I hope that everything works out for you. Alright folks, that's all the time I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Consider giving me a thumbs up if you did. Consider giving me a thumbs down if you didn't. Take care, good luck, all that stuff. Really, Brian? Students' health? You mean students' mental health.